good. Sounds good. Pues, muchachos, damas y caballeros, todos, gracias por estar con nosotros. Álvaro, un placer siempre escucharte. A Christopher, Mike, Michelle, Mirarí, Oscar, Víctor. Tenemos la oportunidad de escuchar la presentación de Rinu una vez más, donde ella nos explica cómo hacer la interfaz entre REDCap y Sniny. Y yo creo que todos los que estamos en la presentación queremos que empiece exactamente como le hizo. Sin embargo, antes de empezar, quiero decirles que Rinu, ella es está en Gran Bretaña. Ya se las mandé. Les digo que ella solamente nos ha pedido una sola cosa. Lo único que nos ha pedido son que le hagamos preguntas, cualquier tipo de pregunta que tengamos sobre su proyecto. Él lo único que quiere, lo quiere mejorar y nos está presentando para nosotros, para ella escuchar nuestro punto de vista y cómo ella, de lo que hizo y cómo lo puede mejorar. Así que con eso les doy la introducción para que en mente conforme avanzamos. Las preguntas las pueden hacer en español, nosotros o en inglés como ustedes gusten, y nosotros de esa manera le daremos las gracias a Rinu juntos a ese apoyo profesional. Así que alguna pregunta, pues empezamos. ¿Qué les parecen? ¿Qué les parece, Víctor?
Excelente. Entusiasmados de escuchar a Rinu otra vez y saber más detalles.
Perfecto. Entonces, una vez más, la presentación nos la va a dar en inglés. Nomás pongan atención, es muy gráfica, van a ver exactamente lo que hizo y vayan preparando sus preguntas, las pueden hacer en inglés, en español y vamos a estar en los siguientes 40-45 minutos. I think we ready to go whenever you're ready.
Thanks very much for the introduction. I hope it was all good things. Thank you for joining us. I am calling you from Scotland. I work at the University of Edinburgh. Last year I finished my PhD in a completely different topic. I was doing air pollution and environmental chemistry and physics. I have since transitioned into a career in data science, which includes a lot, in addition to database management, my tasks include data analysis as well, but interactive reporting of data analysis and making statistical results approachable and understandable by people and different maybe educational backgrounds, to clinicians, to researchers, to other informatics or computer science professionals. The outline of my talk will be as follows. I will introduce our research group and one of our biggest current research projects or grants. And I will show you how I use examples of the reporting apps, and then I will tell you how they're made. They're all made in R using the Shiny package. Yeah, because I see the slides okay. You're not. Is it?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Good, see the slides. Thank you. Our biggest research study is called the Global Search Study, and we use REDCap to collect data that is patient level, which I assume is what most of you do anyway. Comprehensive, I say, that has 3 instruments and 34 variables. Now some of you are thinking, oh, it's not comprehensive. We have 300 variables. We have instruments, that last 3 monitors to send them. This is our instrument. We have patient demographics, operated T-tests, because it is surgical procedures, and then 30-day outcomes. However, outsourced by crowdsourced, we the patient cells, we get surgeons and the data, the patient level anonymized data into our base, which we can then analyze. So for the second project, this meant that over 3,000 surgeons around the world registered in REDCap surveys. 2,000 of them did the second stage of registration, so they got their approved to take part in our study. So we issued over 2,000 REDCap accounts, included over 500 hospitals, and we ended up with 60,000 patient-level records. And these are entered by surgeons, including 33 variables for each patient, and including quality control and validation. So this is really a unique data set with all continents and of 70 countries, including the pre-studies as well. And statistics show that we at Edinburgh have 8,000 users on our system because we have run a few of these big projects, whereas Vanderbilt has 32,000 users, which is times as many as we do. But if you look at the users to project ratios, we are dealing with a lot of users on REDCap. And by the REDCap handles it all fine. It's perfect. It doesn't freeze. It doesn't crash. It's amazing. REDCap has built-in reporting and data quality tools, and we do use them. So you can find, you've already probably found them on the left-hand side menu. Data quality rules, when you're crowdsourcing data with 500 hospitals and for slightly different periods as well, so they could choose their own 2-week periods to add all patients from. We need much more advanced tools, the built-in tools, so we use these as well as much as we can. So for the first part of my job, and I do enjoy this, is building Shiny apps or reporting apps that connect directly to REDCap. We use these reporting apps to monitor data collections, see how many patients have been entered from how many countries already, or hospitals, see how it's going, that data is happening. And we also use these apps to aid cleaning, to highlight hospitals or collaborators who are measuring too many missing values, so we'll need to tell them, could you plug in and complete your records? We won't include anything with less than 95% completeness. And obviously, if you have 1,000 collaborators, you can't beat any of that by hand. The apps help us send those emails, identify those groups. The apps report aggregated data back to collaborators. It's really important that the data gets aggregated because we presented comparisons of country versus country or hospital versus hospital. People wouldn't want to collaborate with us to make the data available. Not because they're scared of presenting what their outcomes are or scared that the hospital is misperforming, but it's just depending on the people they presented. They might have very different patients. Whereas some has different outcomes. Some bigger hospitals only do really difficult operations, and therefore they might have worse outcomes, whereas really there's maybe smaller hospitals who we send the more riskier patients to the bigger hospitals. So record comparisons between hospitals is something we will never present. For reporting apps help us get the data in a way that the collaborators can't then go back to the individual data of other people. They go back to the individual data of that they entered if they reanalyze it or use it for their own audit purposes. We also use REDCap to deliver an intervention, which is really exciting. I will show a slide about that as well. This example of a reporting app that can be used to monitor data collection and aid cleaning. So this code is publicly available on GitHub. You can apply this on your projects. This pulls directly from REDCap using the API, and have to download the data or anything like that. This very simple example, I'm gonna demo it live, even though it is live at that link, because I have a much more exciting example coming up. That's simply because I've made it reproducible, so I've made it readable by different projects. But obviously, for my own projects, I would build lots of extra options, whatever makes sense for the type of project you're running. So you can use that. So most example report the main outcomes of our latest paper, currently in peer review. So I well, can't say it's published yet, and I will demo this app. So if I exit this and I
Hey, Rinu. That's your audio.
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is when I switch between the keyboard to Chrome.
Yes.
That explains why I didn't answer. So I think you can see Chrome now, right?
Yes.
So this is live. This is publicly available. SSI stands for surgical site infection, so a wound infection. Research is a project, and this is included in the abstract of our paper to satisfy the data sharing requirements of some journals, because they're saying, oh, you need to share your data, but quite often you only have permission to use the data for the research. You're not usually allowed to share patient level data. And so the interactive reporting app, you can choose any variable from the data set and just tabulate it against any other variable, and then color in the bars as well. So it's 3 ways cross tabulation. The high, middle, low groups indicate different countries. So high-income countries, middle-income countries, and low-income countries. We had most patients from high-income countries because these are the people working at those hospitals are much more likely to collaborate, much more likely to have good internet connection, or just research-minded people. We can make the axis relative, so we can more easily compare the surgical site infections. So for example, you can see that low-income countries have a higher rate of surgical site infections. That's like a boring outcome, but look at all the other variables we have. We can now compare the different procedures that take place, for example. We can split that by gender, make the plot wider. So this shows you proportionally how many abdominal surgeries around the world are appendectomies. If you wanted to get the percentages for the next category, which is gallstones, we can use these shifts. And then people can download the picture, or they can download the table, and they can use it in their own either presentations or their own making decisions about or comparing their own hospitals to the global averages. App is also really good because it works. Because obviously I get researchers asking me to, these statistics for them. Oh, Rinu, could you tell me what's the percentage in this, and that? And then I email them the percentage, and oh, but could you split it by gender and stuff? So I just saves you data analysts, people who do data analysis, a lot of time. You can give the app and figure everything out for themselves. It includes setting. People can change the colors. Yep. And they're all variables, any variable in our data set. Switch back to my presentation. App is publicly available, so you can apply it on your projects. These slides are just in case the live demo didn't work, but it did, which is good. You'll notice that the table doesn't include statistical tests, or the advanced options don't include statistical tests. Good reason for that. People often ask me, "Oh, Rinu, could you add p-values here?" And I say, yes, of course I could, but I won't, because it's called multiple testing, allowing people to choose any variable they like, cross against any variable as many times as they want. Something I will facilitate. Type of the reporting apps in this presentation is an app we use to deliver an intervention. So randomized controlled trial. A control arm, they receive standard care, as in they have a surgery and they're sent back home and said, come back on your scheduled follow-up, or if you have any problems, if you think your wound is getting bad or getting infected. In the second arm, we send patients REDCap surveys, and REDCap can send out surveys automatically, but what REDCap can't do, send back responses from the clinicians. So I built app, so similar to the previous ones, where the clinician choose the response. Either they want to tell the patient, your wound looks fine, you're healing fine, or your wound looks a bit infected, go see your general practitioner, or you have an infection, come back to the hospital immediately. And we also get patients to upload a photo of the wound, so they take a photo with their smartphone and upload it to REDCap, and the clinician has a look at it, and will send a text to the patient and upload REDCap automatically, so the clinician doesn't have to log in and click on the same options again. So it can not only pull from REDCap, but it can update values on REDCap. And we will hopefully see that people who receive text from us had fewer problems or concerns about their wound. This is ongoing. It's currently just piloting, so we don't have any results yet. The apps I showed you, they're all R programming language, but you need to install RStudio, which is an IDE for, and Sniny is just a package. An R package is nothing special. Well, I should, because it's amazing. But if you have been doing R, you can pick up Shiny really quickly, and syntax is still syntax, just wrap down statements. Basically say start Shiny and Shiny. It's as easy as that. A lot of people think Shiny is like JavaScript or a new language. No, Shiny is an R package. And all this can communicate with REDCap. You can you install Shiny. It's a package, or they're called libraries in other programming languages. For some reason, R calls libraries packages. You can get the instructions at my GitHub site. Apps have already been applied on a few different data sets on REDCap, so I do know it works. So it is possible to apply it, but if you have any feedback and if you have any questions, please know, because I know that it could be a lot more user-friendly or a lot more user-friendly. I should be automatically pulling the records from REDCap a few times, but what I really mean by that, you make the app pull the records every time it's refreshed, but that could take a long time if the data set is quite big, and if you do a lot of processing on the actual aggregation, you can schedule a cron job. So that means updates every hour or once a day, whatever makes sense for your project. You set up a data entry trigger from REDCap that will force the app to update the data every time new data is entered into the database, or your manual update where you do just manually pull the data from REDCap and then run a few scripts on it and then put it into the app. But my experience is that every time I say half an hour setting up a cron job, usually I end up spending 2 hours manually updating data. So it's always worth, I think, really thinking about how often do you want to update, because the manual update can get a bit out of hand. As listening, if you have any questions, I also have a new presentation which I'm going to present to you, because I know some of you don't use R at all, some are experts, but I would like to give you the links. I'll copy them into this as well, that really show you how to build a Shiny app like success.
Thank you so much. I think we are gathering our thoughts, and I think I'll start with the question.
Go ahead.
So could you go back to the first slide where was the menus and how it plots? Yeah, exactly. That won't work. So you showed us how the app reacts to your parameter that you set on the left side of your screen on the variables. So I was thinking, I have two questions. Usually, I mean, when a project collects data, we have a lot of missing data, or we have, unfortunately, not everything is normalized or standardized. How much cleanup do you do? So actually, I guess, call a variable clean enough so you can feed it into a graph like this. I guess my question is, do you pre-process the data before you ready to be, I guess, called from Shiny or R?
That just depends on the app. The cleaning and data quality apps we use, they present it how it is, and they will include the missing values on it. If you actually go on the link, I've copied it into the Slack chat, SSI.global search, you'll see I've added 2 new buttons that from my presentation in August. It says remove from outcome, unknown and missing. So built in the option for the user to either present or not present the missing values. Obviously, that doesn't make sense for continuous data, but for categorical data, you can have missing values as a box. So you can have the app count up the values.
That also, the question was, you take any variable from the app and plug it into your report, no? You don't have to do any preparation. It's any field in REDCap, basically.
No, at the moment, this app only includes categorical variables, so those variables that can be put on a bar plot. It doesn't have box plots for, numeric variables. I do feed it. I give it a list of variables that I want it to present, and it will just ignore the others. that's good because quite often you'll have intermediate variables that are only used for calculations. So you don't want to present everything. Really, if you want to have a quick look at the missing values in your complete data set, then you don't need an app for that. That's the REDCap reporting tools. The reporting tools will do that for you. This app you can, but the built-in tools don't allow you to cross-tabulate one variable against the other one. But for just every single variable, missing value, some quality rules you can do on REDCap, and you should, and then you should fix them immediately.
Really powerful, Rinu. Thank you for showing us and to share.
Thank you.
I'm really interested on this. Can I ask another question?
Yes.
In this, either to put variables across time or across events in REDCap?
So longitudinal.
Yes, longitudinal against events.
That's why I love using Shiny app so much, because Shiny is R, and most, but I would say, half of the statistical data analysis in the world is done in R, I guess. Is a tax user gonna stab me now? So the thing is, you can into the apps I presented today. They're all on GitHub, except the intervention one, but that's like a very specific one. You can apply on unless you were doing the exact same study. They're all on GitHub, and I made them into reproducible examples. But actually, for everyday work, I have about 30 of these apps, and they include all kinds of either longitudinal. They include all kinds of output that you can think of that you can do in R, including Bayesian analysis. So everything you can do in R, you get into a Shiny app, because Shiny app is just a way to present our outputs in an active and automatically updating way.
So, okay, so that means that you have implemented these categorical variables one against the other is because it's what you need, but if needed, you can do in other different ways. That's
yeah, and actually, you can do anything you can do in R, you can do Shiny app. And the one here, this is a time of the times of the new patients being entered, so you can see some hospitals are maybe falling off and others are joining a lot slower than others. So this is, the time plot. This is not categorical labels anymore.
You say that you have used it in several projects, so it's easy to use for any given project.
Well, this one works best if you have a lot of categorical variables. It's just if you have quite a specific project and specific needs, you will just have to change the R code I've already provided, but the code isn't long at all. I think it's about 100 lines or so. So it is possible for someone who's only starting to use R to copy my code and then modify it to whatever makes sense to your project. So really, I'm not presenting something that's thousands of lines of soft development, because that's not what R and Shiny require from you. I will answer the question in the chat. So I have been using R curl just because that's what the REDCap's API playground gives you. I've seen the API playground on REDCap. It's just something left-hand side menu. But the API I've heard is and more user-friendly than RCurl. Developers were at REDCapCon in New York, and they were promoting it. And obviously, they had really good points. So I think the REDCap API, REDCap R, works better if you have very big data sets. So they've optimized it specifically pulling from REDCap. But for all these apps, RCurl has been enough for me.
Ask a question?
Yes.
I'd like to know if it's possible. For sure, yes. So if you provide the code, maybe I can get the code and then try to modify these main input parameters to include, for example, variables from different projects, like variables from different events, but also different projects, and to combine them.
Definitely. I do that a lot as well. So you can just put different RCurl statements, or write an R script that prepares pull it together, combines it together, merges, maybe filters out some of the variable stuff you want to present, and then put it into a Shiny app. I will show you my GitHub now, if I can. Cool. Zero now again. So this is my GitHub account, and in the app, this line, the REDCap. But don't you have to type this up or understand what this means, because REDCap API Playground will give it for you. So you enter what you want to pull, and then you just copy this into your R code. And the instructions on Anyways. A list of instructions to get started to plug in your dataset and where to change variable names that you want to have included. So if you start to look at this and if you find any mistakes, I've found a typo in this world already. I would be really grateful if you would help me test these and just give any feedback how this works and what doesn't. Because I've tested it on a couple of projects, but I tested it on hundreds of projects.
Okay.
Great. This is Eduardo. I have one more. Well, I have questions for you, but let me I guess the most basic one that I have that I just need to make sure I understand. The entire product that you develop, access to a web page, right?
Yes.
And let me ask you, my second question was about the limitations that you see on the final reporting product that you developed through Shiny. What would you like to add to it? Or do you think physicians will find it useful with just being able to compare categorical values? Do you think it improved somehow?
Yeah, I would build in displaying continuous variables as well. This is just the first edition of it, and also because our project is mostly working on using categorical values. So I did it. I did for my project, and then I just made it reusable. From build it to be reusable at first, because what I get paid for. We're not a software development company. The weird thing I would like to comment on, though, when you start using, if you run RStudio on your laptop and you create a Shiny app, it will only exist on your laptop and only you can see it. To share it on the internet, you have two options. You either install RStudio, so it has an open source version, so you can do that for free, but you will need to have a web server. But similar to REDCap, you all use REDCap, so you know that REDCap is installed on a web server and it's on your university and other people access it. So you do the exact same thing for R and Shiny, and that's exactly what happens when you open any of my Shiny apps. You access my university server. RStudio also has an option to share Shiny apps on the website. You can do first 5 for free and then pay for it. Really good quick option if your data isn't sensitive, but if your data is patient level, you probably don't have data governance rights to upload your results to RStudio server, so you need to install your own RStudio server on your infrastructure. So we have .io link here. This, I've uploaded my app to RStudio server because this doesn't include patient level data. This is just reproducible example using an example data set.
Mm. Are you going to send us this presentation?
Yes, the presentation is already uploaded. Wait, I will give you the link now. The chat, come on, chat. Presentation. I'm seeing the question about the server performance issues. Exporting the server gets really slow. I almost never use the export module because larger data sets I wouldn't put on my laptop anyway. I would download those to my RStudio server. Using the API pull, that's what the REDCap bar was developed for. It was saying that our curl doesn't work on really big data sets because our curl doesn't have built-in options to do it in batches, whereas REDCap bar has built-in options to pull your data one-on-one, so it doesn't blow up or kind of give us results. But I'm not sure that's meant for really big downloads. You could go straight into the MySQL or the API.
¿Tienes alguna otra? Yo tengo muchas, pero...
Adelante. Pidiendo.
Sí, es demasiada información. Déjame ver, Mabel, a ti la que le gustaría hacer a Rinu.
Hi, Rocío. I'm impressed about your work. It's
Thank you.
incredible. I have some experience in R and also connecting with the API of REDCap to produce local reports, but we never use Shiny yet. But it's that we want to start to use it. About the R server is very good to install? We need some license or particular?
You get an open source license, so free. I think that the open source license includes 20% of the functionality as the pro version does. The pro version, if you teach students, I don't know if any of you are involved with teaching at the university, you get the pro for free, so we actually have the pro for free. But like I said, I think none of it is available in the free version. It's I think it's as difficult to install as REDCap. So if either you manage to install REDCap or you have someone who's installed REDCap for you, then they can manage RStudio server for you as well.
Okay, we will.
And I'll show you what RStudio server looks like. It looks just exactly like RStudio on your computer. So this is me going to the RStudio server. Don't look at the code; it doesn't work. I'm trying new things. I'm not handling per at all. But this is what it is. If you access it on your browser, and yeah.
The desktop version of RStudio.
Yeah, but the server one is the exact same thing, except that it sits on a server and
yes.
Pro. The good thing about the server version is well that data will never be on your personal laptop, because most of the projects we deal with, I don't have the rights to save any data on my laptop. I need to prove that we have a server that keeps the data. So if if someone steals my laptop, they can't access the data.
Yes. Thank you.
Question. I have a proposal for the group. Eduardo, maybe you can also repeat that in Spanish, but one is that as many groups have different levels of experience, programming, with R, with the backend of REDCap, and all these things. Mm-hmm. And in particular here, we are really interested to implement something like this, because this is really, I think, to empower users to analyze their data. So what I want to propose is that if there are other people in the group that is interested to run into this, we can experiences in Spanish, that if that helps, to support each other in the pieces that we may encounter some situations, and then implement a solution, Rinu solution, which I'm really grateful and then for our benefit, and also the use we can come back to Rinu and give her some feedback, then grow from here, no?
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm just reading Paloma's comment as well. Yeah, at this point, feel free to email me with whatever questions you have about this app, because I'm really looking for feedback. I'm really for input on how to make the instructions more user-friendly. And yeah, obviously, if you could help each other with the learning R as well, that would help. Because so amazing.
It is a good opportunity for us, Rinu. Thank you.
Yeah, because I showed you, we use R to send text messages, and you can use R to send and just everything.
Is interested to participate?
Victor, I think yeah, is great. I think Paloma on the message already said she's interested on Rinu. So I think we're going to have plenty of traction with your. Is that we just have to give it a little more guidance. let's see if we can generalize Windows code for the purpose, and that way, whatever code we end up with, gonna prove useful to everyone, So we build a general REDCap project. We build a general R connection, which Rinu has already most of it, if not all of it. Build a general Chinese installation that's gonna work with everything we do. With the generalized simple REDCap project, and then we share it all. I think we can learn a lot from Rinu's presentation and Rinu's work today. Because first of all, check it out. All her work is at GitHub. We need that. But that's something the group doesn't have. So let's see if we can grow the group to get us to the point we reach a working project that is valuable for all. Shared through GitHub,
GitHub will give you a free prescription if you're, academic non-profit research group. So you could register your REDCap Spanish user group on GitHub for free.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And on GitHub will let you do a lot for free as a person as well, but yeah. Just so the group thing is also you can get a pro subscription for free. Actually, I have a question for you about different languages in REDCap. Can I ask you that?
We can try to answer. Yeah, go for it.
Has anyone of you project in two languages at the same time? So, like in Spanish and English at the same time? Done the REDCap project that's English and Spanish at the same time. So, for example, when we get people around the world and to data, could we do it that if someone logs in, it presents them a different language based on their setup? Or
I can answer you if you want. I have several. What I resolved this question implementing several questionnaires, so the same questionnaire in different languages, and what I do is to show to implement different groups, and for each group, in each group I assign different participants, and then the profile of each participant. When I design the profile for each participant, or not these different questionnaires. So the instrument is the same, but the file instrument is the same, but the word is different. The questions in different languages, and show or not the questionnaire depends on the group.
Is that you mean data access group?
Is what is the way that I found to resolve this question, because our projects are international and multi projects, and one of the questions for that was how to solve that, and this is my option.
But if that wouldn't, because use data access groups to separate people into hospitals, so we would use, to sort them into hospitals. A really clever solution. Sounds like you've done it really well, but I just we need to retain the access groups for hospitals.
You need to retain access group for hospitals, but yeah, well, that's more complicated.
My is writing that you can have a multilingual hook. Oh yeah, REDCapCon, it had so many parallel sessions, and it was the first time I attended. I wanted to go to everything, I just couldn't choose what, so I So we'll try to, I mean, I know that the slides will be up on the community sites. Like, now that I know they exist.
You know?
Yes.
I got the link right here. I'll put it on the.
Thank you.
But I tell you, you've asked the $1 million question. You know, you're trying to find a really good way of finding the solution to a lingual or multilingual way of collecting data. It's 10 different. First, I get 20 different answers. You know, I don't know. Experience. Have an instrument like that, and I've way to implementations of this. So, and I would know it would have to be Victor or maybe Luis to give their point of view. But in my opinion, I mean, you ask 10 persons and you get 20 different answers. There's no good way up to this point to do this. The hook that I mentioned, and look at the actual data dictionary and how data is being stored. You need to do it and what they're trying to do. You know, it's not ideal. It works, but not ideal. You know.
That's really good. That's it's the same as have first-hand experience with this hook, because it looks really good, but like you said, it might have some stuff going on in the background that's not quite easy.
Yeah, all of these solutions have the same problem. The data dictionary looks funky, you know, it looks strange. But if you understand what you're trying to do, you can definitely work with it. You know, like I said, you've got the $1 million question where you still have a good answer for that.
Yeah, that would be that's like relevant for you know, the type of projects we run, especially you know, not all people around the world speak English, as you might know. So it would be really good if we could do a page collection using different languages.
Right.
As Eduardo mentioned, every person you ask have a different question, different answer. I really think that the part is that when you collect that, they are stored in the same fields, no matter which is the language, because for doing analysis and all these kind of things, you want to have all the responses in the same place, no?
Exactly.
So I've been recently playing a lot with piping, finding ways how to use it to optimize a project. Really, like a customization. So I think that a good way to do it with any hook or anything, but the cost will be that at the beginning you have to set up all the questions, different languages and all these, and then select what is the language to be used. And then
you pipe in the translations, like.
And then using the piping with the selections that you are asking. I can try something for you. A small example, and I send it to you for you to have a look as a possible solution, and you can see what is the work involved into that.
You say that, yeah, that would be good.
But as Eduardo says, there are many possible situations. All are workarounds because there is no such functionality yet in REDCap.
Does anyone know if it's something REDCap is developing, or is it not in their priority, or do you know?
And it's in the list of improvements. It's not there, but it's repeating. So, as for example, repeatable events, it took some time, but now it's there and it's great. I think that, for example, these kind of things will be really something that we will see in the future. In the near future, I would say in what at most.
It isn't for developers. I don't think it's a tough job, because it doesn't include new functionality. It just adds translations and removes the wrong languages. Like just add text and adding and removing text.
I think it's more like creating more tables in the backend, a flag to point to the right table, no?
Yeah, it points to the right question. Yeah, just that. Yeah, the text of the question.
In my opinion, this is more than what we were expecting. Thank you, Rinu. I thank you for teaching all of this. I'm pretty sure we're going to have much more questions after you download your project from GitHub. Yeah, and I really need to use this solution that you created for us, and you're hearing not to me, I'm sure, from a lot of people after we look at what you've done. So thank you, Rinu.
Thank you.
Yeah. If anyone has any more questions, I think the time to do it is now, because it's an hour, and things to do. Do you get more questions, please? See.
That was a great presentation, Rinu, and great.
Thank you. Thank you all for and looking forward to all the feedback.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rinu, and we will keep in touch. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Be safe. Let us know if you need anything, and we're here to help. Gracias, muchachos. Aquí para servirles. Hasta la próxima. Mándanos correos por si tienen alguna pregunta. Hasta luego.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Chao.
Thank you, Rinu.
Bye, Rinu. Thank you. Gracias. Adiós.
Bye.